Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and also please give your valuable comments. In the last class, we are discussing about Graha Rogas, and that also we are discussing about non-zygotic nature of the Grahas. I mean to say, Grahas, which we are comparing with the microorganisms, they are non-zygotic structures. Their reproduction is not by the formation of the zygote. Their reproduction is either by the sexual pore method or asexual methods. We know how the amoeba will go into reproduce, and euglena, amoeba, liver fluids. So their reproduction is something different. Similarly, how the viruses grow, how the bacteria grow. So male and female bacteria is not required actually. Okay, these parasites, etc. So now, similar this story which is explained in Skanda Purana regarding the origin of Skanda Graha implies the same thing. The sperm of the Shiva falls in a place. From the place where the sperm only falls, there only the Skanda get emerged. Okay, so therefore, Skanda is basically a non-zygotic structure. Similarly, all the microorganisms, they are non-zygotic in nature. Now, what happens next in the story? They says that immediately after the production, Skanda was very, very thirsty and hungry. He was very desperate to whatever is available. Now, what it suggests? This suggests the host dependency of a particular microorganism. Whenever the microorganism is there, when it is produced, it immediately wants a host, otherwise it will not survive. If it is getting a host in time, it will go into survive. So this host tendency will be there. It wants the food immediately. So that is what Skanda also did immediately after birth. He was very, very thirsty, very, very hungry, and he was desperate to enter into somebody's body. This story is beautifully explained in Skanda Purana. So therefore, Skanda, who is the main Graha, his story is like this. Similarly, all the microorganisms, so they are non-zygotic structures, and also they immediately want a host, maybe definite or intermediate host, for their existence. Therefore, it is their basic tendency to attack the host. That host may be animals, birds, or human beings. Okay, so this is one important part. Now, so Graha is very clear. So Graha is nothing but invisible living entity and microscopic nature. It passes through the different phases of the life cycle, egg, larva, and all this, then antigenic to the body and cause pain and torture. Okay, Graha also fulfills the same. Then it can be visualized by the special aid like microscope. In case of Grahas also the same thing has been told. It leads to generalized disease with the acute, rapid, severe presentation. Yes, it follows the incubation period. Fever is the first symptom in many infections. We know that. Himsa, Rati, Archana. These are three main intentions why actually these Grahas enter inside the body and also the microorganisms. So Graha Rogas can be better compared with the microorganisms. This is our final conclusion. Now, so Graha can be, if you look Graha in another angle, so Grahas are really terrible and Bhayanaka. They desperately need a host for their existence. Moving towards the host is its natural tendency. You cannot stop it. The microorganisms always move towards the host because for their survival, host is very important. So movement towards those area. So it's known fact that when they always move towards the host. And now if the host is showing more resistance because its immunity is good, suppose, then the tendency of this microorganism is to move towards a host which is having less resistance. If I am maintaining my immunity by different methods, Rutucharya, Dinacharya, etc., then although microorganisms come too near to me, Grahas come near to me, they cannot enter inside because the resistance is more. But the same, when there is a less resistance, there will be easy access of Grahas inside the body. In the culture media is same happening. In the culture media what we are doing is, we are giving the putrefied material, necrosed material, then the fecal material of different organisms. So there, in that way the culture media is prepared. There is no resistance for their movement, but they want to move there because blood is there, necrosed item is there. So that's their favorite area, habitat it is. So they can move there without any resistance. Similarly, if you are able to maintain your body immunity, Grahas cannot enter inside your body. They remain physiological. If they enter inside your body, once you are not following the daily routines and the rules and regulation, etc., and decrease your body resistance, they can easily enter inside the body and you will be the victim of the disease. That's all. Now, this portion, similarities, etc., we have seen. Now, why a microorganisms attack the body? Then we will see why a graha come to our body. Now, again, I told dharma, adharma is the main issue. Why? Because these graha rogas enter inside the body. Now, what is the definition of adharma, or what are the extent? Now, suppose adharma refers to some of the hygienic issues like personal hygiene, or it may be a community hygiene. See, this is what is told: datri, matro, then trastan, rishtan, varjitan, thaditan, etc. Okay, then adharma may be easily followed by those who are having low socio-economic status, because they are not having nutritional food, they are less aware of the hygiene, etc. So that may be one is a absence, lack of education, and also low socio-economic status. When this combo is there, so that will be one of the most favorite area for the entry of the graha rogas, because hygiene, maintenance of the hygiene is very poor there. Or anybody who is following improper food habits or lifestyle, or adulteration of the food adulteration, then contamination of the air, water, and milk, that is also one of the cause. Okay, and epidemic and endemic natures like breakdowns, then environmental hazards like sudden changes in the climate, humidity increases, cyclonic is there, and etc. Early rain and late summer season, late rain and early that is Rutu Sandhikala, Yamadamshtakala, Rutu Sandhikala. So these are some of the very more prone areas for the entry of the Graha Rogas inside the body. So now, why microorganisms attacks the body? A drought, flood, war, excess destruction. This is another area where the Graha Rogas try to enter inside your body. During the drought, during the flood, during the war, excess destruction. See, in all conditions where it is very difficult to maintain the aseptic measure, difficult to maintain the hygiene, difficult to maintain the nutritional status, which can lead to the decrease in the body immunity, is the most common cause for the attack of the Graha Rogas. Okay, improper disposal of the waste and dead body, etc. Again, contamination occur. Then continuous work, sahasa karma, when you are in continuous work, and sahasa karma without intake of sufficient calories. So that is also one of the cause. Contact of contaminated person, any person who is already infected, if you are coming in contact with him, it can affect you. Traveling from one area to another, yes. Then neglecting the time to time health tips by the concerned authority. What is told in Guru Shapa? Okay, Guru Shapa, Guru Rishi Shapa, Brahmana Shapa. That means Brahmanas, Gurus, and Rishis, they are the source of knowledge in those days, and they are the one actually who are guiding the society. Okay, now the tips or health tips which is given by this Guru, Brahmana, as well as Rishis, etc., if it is not followed, neglected, then you will be the victim of Graha Rogas or any other infectious disorders. Therefore, to indicate the same, they says that Guru, Brahmana, Rishi, Shapa. Then overcoming the experts' advice. Yes, any conditions which weakens our body immune system, any condition, even sometimes depression. Depression also decreases the body immune system, and the patient will be the victim of many disorders. So these are all the conditions why microorganisms usually attack the body. And almost the same has been explained in Ayurveda also as a cause for the entry of Graha Rogas inside the body. Okay, this particular shloka explains some of the things. Okay, Datri Matro, mother is not maintaining the hygiene, child is not maintaining the hygiene, then there's a food problem, contaminated food, contaminated areas, contaminated bed, okay, contaminated persons, contaminated home environment, contaminated air, etc. So they are the most common causes of entry of Graha Rogas. Now there is also explanation of one more important factor in relation to Graha, that is Jataharani. Now if you see Kashyapa explains Grahas, and Kashyapa also explains Jataharani. One of the main Jataharani which is explained by Kashyapa is Revati Jataharani. Revati has been explained as Graha also, and Revati has been explained as Jataharani also by Kashyapa. Kashyapa attributed a separate chapter called as Revati Kalpa Adhyaya in the Kalpastha. Okay, so now why Grahas or Jataharanis etc. attack the body? Now, we again told that adharma is the root cause. That is wrong way of living. Now, Skanda's order, if you look into the stories that we will discuss in later classes, the Skanda is the leader of all the Grahas. So what he says is, when the Grahas are formed in the Devaloka, so what he says that you go and attack in the Bhuloka those who are not following the dharma. इसका ऑर्डर यही है, जो भूलोक में जो धर्म का पालन जो नहीं करते हैं, जाओ उसको अटैक करो. So dharma means not religion, dharma means right way of living. Okay, so adharma is that act which disturbs your physical, psychological, spiritual, social health, etc. So not following the swasthavruta, sadvruta, dinacharya, rutucharya, achar rasana, personal hygiene, dashavida papa, etc. They all comes under the category of adharma. So adharma create a loopholes in the body and make the body more vulnerable for the graha rogas. So this create a loophole in the immune system of the body and person is afflicted by this particular grahas. Now again, why these Jataharanis attack the body? Graha or Jataharanis, why they attack the body? Now again, Kashyapa says that Praluptha Dharma, that means those who are not following the Dharma, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, those who are afflicted with Kama, Krodha, Lobha and Mada, those who are doing Binna Vritta means a change in their conduct, okay, lifestyle. Binna Achara, change in their lifestyle, food style, etc. Ashaucha, Malinasya, those who are unclean and unhygienic, they are more prone to the Jataharani or Graha Rogas. What is the role of consultation? This part also we have discussed to some extent now. In the Grahas also we have seen that we have to take the expert's opinion. Aptavakya is very important while you are treating the Grahas. We have explained that. So treatment of infectious disorders need a support in many ways, like expert's opinion, investigation reports, etc. Otherwise, identification of the particular infection is impossible. You know, we may be knowing that this may be a bacterial fever, but which fever, which bacteria is causing this fever, you have to go for a culture study or other investigations. So consultation by the Brahmins, gurus, Ayurveda says that you have to take consultation from the Brahmin, gurus, sages, etc. And if you are not following their advice, that means Guru Shapa, Brahmana Shapa, Rishi Shapa, may lead to so many grahas. So consultation by the Brahmin, guru, sages who were the source of knowledge in those days. Now there is a system of clinic, hospitals, etc. Previously, rishis, devas, and rishis, gurus, and brahmanas. So they are considered to be the most knowledgeable persons in the society, and everybody is going to take their opinion, and accordingly they used to lead their life. Now the situation is changing. There is a different issue. So now, if you are not following this expert's opinion, you are going to a diet specialist, and that specialist telling some of their tips how should be your diet, and if you are not following this, yes, you will be the victim of the disease. Similarly, neurological specialist is not following his advice. So similarly, the lack of consultation may lead to the wrong management and diagnosis, which is quoted as Guru Shapa and Deva Shapa. So they are respected with the religious outlook, so there may be a certain psychological effects also. Now, previously, Guru, Brahmanas, Rishis, they have been given maximum respect also, so which actually creates some psychological boost or psychological support to fight against the disease. Now, again the question is why these grahas or Jataharanis, Bhuta, Preta, they attack the body. Okay, so for that, Vagbhata clearly mentioned that in the context of Bhuta, it is told that the entry of Bhutas, Preta, Pishacha, Graha, etc. inside the body is because of Sadhya Prajna Prada. That means we are knowingly doing some of the or committing some of the mistakes. We know that we should not go there. It's a very cold season, and if we expose ourselves to the cold, definitely we may be suffering from cough and cold and fever, etc. But still we go. We know that that food is not good. Okay, so this ice cream is not good. So again we will take it. So Prajna Sadhya, that means very short term. Sadhya Prajna Prada. So that is the cause. One cause for the entry of, see, everything matches with the microorganisms. Okay, Purvakrita Prajna Prada. Sometime you have committed the mistakes a long back, and now you are experiencing fruit of it. That means that is also possible. That is also one of the cause for the entry of grahas. For example, you take an example of intrauterine infections. So mother has been infected by the intrauterine infections, and the baby is carrying that infection forward. And many times after the birth, baby will be the victim of that toxoplasmosis, cytomegalovirus, rubella. Okay, then SSPS, that is mumps encephalitis, measles encephalitis. So where baby is not actually the victim here, rather accused here. But during the mother time that infection is acquired, and through the mother is going to the baby. So this may be a purvakrita prajnaprada, not sadhya prajnaprada, purvakrita prajnaprada. Purvakrita karmasya paranamakala. Many times previously you have done the mistake, committed the mistake, and now it is a time is get ripened for it, and you are experiencing it. Papa karma. So these are considered as four important causes why these grahas enter inside the body. Now grahas, they enter inside the body because of sadhya prajnaprada. Okay. Now this purvakrita karmasya pranamakala, papa karma, etc. Now when we explain so many genetic disorders, okay, chromosomal disorders, so you can take this mutational disorders. Okay. Previously, one or two generation back, they committed some mistake, and there is some mutation in the genetic configuration, and now this pretty boy, the poor boy, is now victim of the same. Now this is purvakrita karmasya paranamaka. Okay, so tesham punar anupraveshe karanam sadhya purvakrito va visheshena prajnaprada. So knowingly we are committing some of the mistakes, and that itself is the cause for the entry of grahas inside the body, or jataharani inside the body, which will go into weaken our body immune system. Now we know that what is the role of manas. Okay. Now so many Dayo Apasha Chikisa is also explained in the context of Graha Roga. Okay, mana eva manushanam karanam bandha mokshayo. It is the manas. So you have to balance the manas, you have to stabilize the manas. For that, best stabilization of the manas is by the faith. When you have got the faith, your manas will be under your control. See, we always believe in God. Okay, so God will come and solve our problem. That's a different issue. But that particular belief in the God, so that create a positive environment in your body, and you will take the right decisions. Okay, so that's the important. Faith is important. Either you should have faith in the God or physicians or anybody else, parents, etc. So that faith is important. That's the faith which is working. So that is putting your mind into a positive mode always. Now some of the other causes which is explained for the Graha Rogas entry inside the body is movement in the lonely and inauspicious places. When you are moving in the lonely places, okay, nobody is there. Maybe it is a very that means a remote area. Nobody is going there. Suppose you are moving there, then you may be the victim of different infections, isn't it? Because it was a very dark area, maybe, or a lonely area. Nobody goes there, or inauspicious places, ashuddha places, which are not good places. Suppose if you are going there, definitely you may be the victim of infections. Similarly, any of the fearful condition, if the child is fearful or you are fearful, then Graha Rogas may enter inside your body. Okay, that means instability of the mind. Okay, best example is depression. Patient of depression will be victim of so many disorders. Patient of mania will be the victim of so many disorders. The reason is their mind is unstable. Mind is unstable. Then taking food in the broken vessel. This is explained by Kashyapa and Shushruta. So where it says Graha Rogas can be also caused by taking food in the broken vessels. Now this indicates the importance of the vessels which are using. Now he has given one example. अगर आप टूटे हुए बर्तन में अगर खाना खाते हैं, तो that is also one of the cause. Okay. The message is the utensil, that means the material or the vessel which you are using and how it is prepared, that is also important. Okay, we know the history of this Indian childhood cirrhosis. ठीक है, कॉपर वेजल्स में जो खाते थे, इंडियन चाइल्डहुड सिरोसिस हो गया. नाउ cleanliness of the vessel is also very important. Bottle feeding babies, so how they are victim of different infections we are witnessing every day. Okay, so by this particular sentence, taking food in a broken vessel is contraindicated. It can lead to Graha. That means that you have to take care of hygiene of the utensils which you are using. Okay, now sharing the garland, vessels, dress, food, etc. Contamination. Definitely you have a contamination. So this is also explained in the Janapadodvamsa or this contamination disorders. Now, anger, frightening and cruel-mindedness, psychological problems, mithya ahara vihara, okay, again, and neglecting the hygiene, social and personal hygiene and community hygiene, etc. So these are some of the most common causes of Graha Rogas. So in general, when you see all these causes, they have covered many causes, and they have not left anything. And this is nothing but this is prevention of the body or person from a microorganism attack. Once you keep microorganisms away, then everything will be fine. So what is the best way? Maintain your hygiene, maintain your immunity, maintain your lifestyle, maintain your food style, be away from the contaminated things. Okay. Now again, one more thing which is explained is suppose if you are traveling in a area where there is a four roads are crossing, okay, four roads are crossing. So that is also one of the main cause, because the area where the four roads are joining, okay, that is a highly crowded area. Highly crowded area. Definitely, so many infections will be there. Somebody is splitting there only. Somebody is urinating there only. Okay. So again, I would just say, suppose you're crossing, you are moving onto four road crossing area, you will be the victim of Graha. Okay, so like this, so they have covered everything regarding the causes of Graha. They are nothing but the causes of microorganisms also.